Hello YouTube, it's your girl Anna back here to bring you episode 9 of my journey to the end. So, you will notice that I am underwater with a bunch of magical sparkles. You can also hear a zombie villager from somewhere. I will have to go up and double check and make sure it is not not in my village real quick. But, yeah, we have had a very eventful week. So, we're going to take you off here at the start and show you some of what we've done. Nope, he's not a zombie. Okay, double check and make sure it's not behind. But as you can see, I have a prismarine cross here. And I'm still working on filling this all in with mossy cobblestone, but I do have a conduit. So that's part of my adventures from this week. Okay, there's not a zombie villager back here. I think he's underground somewhere. There must be a cave right underneath this little area here. We'll have to discover that later. But that is not all from this week's experience, and we're gonna see if we can manage our jump off the side here. And boing. We've also added a little bit more decoration to my base. So these banners here are banners that I use on the realm to mark my territories or areas that I have kind of built up. So I decided to make some here to hang up on one end of my base. I've added a few more blocks of dripping obsidian, cracked obsidian, there we go. But not too many. I haven't found a whole lot, but I have found a few. And one of the best things is we've got our little netherwort garden going, so we can start brewing some potions. And we are going to be getting started on brewing some potions because we are getting closer and closer to tackling that ender dragon. So, if we go back along here, we've also started to expand out our base a little bit this way. I still don't know if I'm going to do the kelp farm, but this is the area I've slotted for it. This is most of what we've done inside of the base. And if we look over here, oh, I have forgotten to mark that. Forgot to mark off the Finding Netherwort. But, yeah, we'll do that right now. Just for a completionist's sake. So, we need one of those. We go back. And, bam! We found Netherwort. Netherwort is done. We haven't really mapped any more of our area here from what we did last week. We did do, as you've seen this week, or this bit over here, which you'll see the videos for this, but last week this was already explored. So, that's pretty much where we're at. This map has all been updated as currently as it can be, and you will notice I have started building a road this direction, which is eventually going to end up in that village that's located up right above that map. I don't know if I'll complete it for sure. That's one of the things I would like to do because it'll make this area kind of pretty. And I like to work in pretty areas. So that is what we have accomplished so far for the intro. And now I'm going to take you to my review of this week. So here it is. Okay, so we started our week off with a little bit of exploration. We were seeing kind of what was to the east of the map we'd done most of our exploration on last time. We had found a small village. I'd explored it, there wasn't a whole lot, but I ended up having to go back to this village for the night. Once again, there were no villagers. This has been a reoccurring thing with a lot of the villages that I'm at. You will hear that there was a little meep in the background. That was a fox that I accidentally picked up on my journeys that unfortunately did not survive the journey. Or they might have ended up getting named. Across the bay was another village, also one that did not have a whole lot in it, nor did it have any villagers. But I kind of went around, explored this area, and saw what there was to see. I picked up a couple of emeralds and some bread, but that was about it. I may come back, since there aren't any villagers in these villages, and raid them for some of the job site blocks and some other stuff, but I haven't decided yet. So I continued on, found yet another village. So this would be the third village. This one did have one villager in it. They did not have a job, but there was one villager there. And then we went around and sheared some sheep. And explored a little bit further. So, as we explored further, we found a beehive. This is the first beehive that I had found. I was actually tempted to start trying to plant trees next to some flowers to do this. But I got a little bit distracted because, as you'll remember, I was trying to find a donkey. And right behind that beehive, there is a donkey. And with 2 attempts, we got our donkey. He is named Quixote, after Don Quixote, and he now has a chest on him. I will be building him a little stables here in the village soon. But yes, so the bees weren't kind of finding the flowers, so I decided to help them out so that they would get some pollen and then go back into their hive. So I grabbed a couple of flowers. We put them down. We grabbed our Silk Touch axe, and then we waited patiently for the bees to go inside their hive so that I could collect a beehive with a full 3 bees. There's 1, 2, and this last one was a little bit stubborn. But eventually they got their pollen, they went inside, and we collected our beehive. From there we headed off. We found a ruined nether portal, and of course I had to come up there and get the cracked obsidian. We also gathered the the golden apple and some enchanted armor. I was actually kind of impressed because this one was a mostly complete, and if you count the obsidian in there, you probably could have finished that portal up. From there, we headed on back home. I did find this really cool area with a couple of floating islands on it. I might build there later. So after we got done with our explorations, we decided to go into the end and see if we could find a nether fortress. We explored a slightly different direction than we had previously. And we went on for quite a ways. We did our usual drop torches as we go along to mark our way. It helped for the most part, though I still ended up lost on the way back, but that worked out to my advantage. On the way, we found a ruined nether portal on the nether side. So, we once again, got another golden apple. We got some obsidian and some iron nuggets. We also grabbed this wonderful gold block here. And of course, the cracked obsidian. From there, we continued on, and we finally found our nether fortress. I was quite happy with this. Apologize for the cough. We did a little bit of searching around, hoping that there was an easier way in. This one is actually right next to a soul sand valley, so I may end up coming back here. I haven't decided yet, because I've got already a stack of soul sand. I don't know if I'm going to need any more. Soul sand is just not one of those things that I need very much of for most of my builds. Occasionally there might be some farms that I might need it for, but we'll see, because I don't know if I'm building a whole lot of farms on this. So this is not the first one of these that I have found the pillar for the nether fortress on. Normally when I do this, I just kind of mine my way up in a spiral around the pillar. One, it gets me to collect some nether brick blocks, which I will probably be using for various other construction projects. You already saw from the intro that I used some of this in my nether wart garden. I will say I was a little bit nervous because I did hear one of those wonderful magma cubes, which I think are probably one of my least favorite mobs in the game. I don't mind slime cubes so much because the baby slimes can't hurt you, but the magma cubes can, and I find them ridiculously annoying to try to take down. I was actually a little bit worried about tackling one of those up here, because I really did not want to get knocked down and die this far out from kind of my entrance to the nether. But I was using that sound to kind of try to figure out when I was closer and closer to the top, which was about here. So we dropped our first torch. And then we took down our magma cube. Still managed to drop a couple on me, which were, of course, annoying as heck to deal with. And interestingly enough, there was a wither skeleton right on top as well. With all that out of the way, we traded out some of the netherrack that we'd acquired and started to explore. Okay, I think I see what we came. Eventually, we found what we needed. Yep. There it is. I was very happy about finding this. because it is one of the harder resources for me to locate in most of the playthroughs that I've done. So, getting this much of it, I was very excited about. Normally it takes me quite a bit longer to find the Nether Fortress, and you will notice that there was a treasure chest back there. At the time, I had completely missed that that chest was there, so you will not see me opening that chest at this point. I did come back after, as I was editing the video. The chest had 1 diamond and some gold bars in it. I did find another chest that had some more nether wart and some more gold ingots. And we stole the chest to boot. That is now the chest that is on Quixote. On the way back out of the Nether Fortress, we got our first Wither Skull. I was actually kind of impressed that it's been this long. I've killed quite a few Wither skeletons, and this is actually my first skull. On the way back, while we were lost, we took advantage of trying to get, or use some of these gold ingots to try to get our Ooh Shiny attachment, or achievement. It actually took quite a while. And we're going to be a little bit quiet because you will not see it pop up on the screen, and I'm not sure why. But you will hear the little ding of it. So you saw when I dropped it. And it took all the way up till about here for it to come across. Okay, maybe even further. There we go. There's the ding of the achievement popping up on the screen. With our nether wart, we brewed us some water-breathing potions, and I took on the nearest ocean monument. So, for those that have not tackled one of these before, right here in the middle is going to be your first Elder Guardian. And when I take these down, this is usually what I do. I start here. I had actually forgotten to drink my water-breathing potion, so I had to take a quick break, because mining fatigue is horrible. And while you will notice, I do have an axolotl with me. One that is going to be getting a name because they have distinguished themselves well. If you guys have an idea for a name, please leave it in the comments, because I do not know what to name this one. I am at a loss. I want to name them because they help us out during this little bit, but I'm drawing a blank. So if you think of something, please leave a comment. But with mining fatigue, it takes a little while to go through, which is why you want water breathing to tackle this. And here is our first Elder Guardian. And Vraxis makes pretty short work of them. We get a sponge and a cod. I could care less about the cod. After this, we start to explore. These are horribly confusing, as so many of these rooms look almost identical. But I kind of lucked out with this one to a certain extent, because I came down, I went across, and here was my second Guardian room. Took me a little bit to find the second Elder Guardian.
There you are.
This one we decided to use Stormbringer on. Took a little bit longer to tackle, but not too much longer. And with that, that was 2 Guardians down. Now all we had to do was find the last one. Now, another trick two ocean monuments is this chamber and the chamber that the other ocean, or the other Elder Guardian's going to be at, are connected. So if you go around the outside of the monument from one Elder Guardian's room, you will make it to the last Elder Guardian's room. So we went around to the other side. And he wasn't even in his room, he was outside. And this is where our little buddy distinguished themselves and helped us take down the Elder Guardian. I was kind of worried that the little guy had gotten taken out, but that was not the case. I just had to search around a little bit. And this one was a little bit of a wily axolotl, because he was absolutely hiding after we dropped him off. I don't know why I've decided this one is a boy. My other two are both girls. We have Kelly and Lena. So we'll see what you guys decide the name of this one's going to be. We have decided it is a boy, though. So, after this, we decided to explore the monument. I did not find a sponge room. I don't know if there's one in here or not. I may come back and look around, because I did build a conduit here so that I could breathe consistently. I didn't need to rely on potions for that. But before we did that, we kind of stripped down some of this region for Prismarine, which you guys saw in the intro was used to build our own conduit. And as I said, I've taken a lot of those down. When we left, we found a lonely wandering trader out here right above the monument floating in the ocean, and we decided to give him a ride back to land. Made sure that he was in the boat and took him along. This was a little bit fortuitous because there's something else that I have been looking all over the place for that I have yet to find. And there was one of the regular guardians shooting their little laser beam eye at me. So, we went to go drop him off. We decided to see what trades he had. After we knocked him out of the boat. And I'm kind of wishing that I'd seen what trades he had beforehand, because dark oak saplings. Dark oak saplings. I don't have any. I was a little bit short on emeralds, so we put him back in the boat, and we took our trader back to our village near spawn. We got some emeralds, and we bought him out of dark oak saplings. I was able to get 8, which is enough for 2 trees, which we have since planted and harvested and gotten a couple more. And we will probably continue to farm those to build up a decent supply of dark oak. I think dark oak is probably one of my favorite woods, but it is one of the harder ones to get, with like one exception. The world that I took through the end last time, I actually spawned in a dark oak forest. And that was our week. We had a lot of fun, and we have made a lot of progress on our journey. So, what do we kind of have left that we need to do? We need to collect some phantom skins. And this is going to be part of a subset. We are going to build a raid farm. So that's going to be something I'm doing some research. I think I've got an idea of what I want to do, and I've got a place I'm going to put it in the world. So that is going to help us get a Totem of Undying. I actually want to get 2 or 3 of these because my luck with the Ender Dragon has not been the greatest. I have managed 1 victory that I didn't die from. Unfortunately, the game crashed and I lost that victory. The next time I went through to go take it on again with the Ender Dragon, I think I died 4 or 5 times. So, I want to at least get 3 Totems of Undying. I'm hoping maybe I can manage to take on the Ender Dragon and only die once. I've learned a couple of tricks since then that'll help us out. And the last one, and this is going to be a weird one, we are going to try to get a Float Your Goat achievement. Looking through my achievements, it's one of the ones that I don't have yet that I would very much like to do. I don't know why, kind of just collecting achievements, but that is where we at. We have renewed all of our goals. We still need to try to get a librarian with mending. I'm going to work towards that. My daughter would still like me to tame 5 wolves. We are still going to expand the base just a little bit more. We're going to do a raid farm. We're going to finish mapping the area, collect some phantom skins. We're still holding off on the kelp farm. And we're going to get a Totem of Undying as we do our raid farm. So that has been my week. Thank you for joining me on my journey. And if you like what you see, please hit a like, subscribe, and help me build this channel. I greatly appreciate it. And until next time, have an excellent day.